esteemed members of the Asia Securities Forum, valuable guests, ladies and gentlemen, very good morning to you all. And on behalf of Turkish Capital Markets Association, I extend my warmest regards to our esteemed participants, and I welcome you all to the 24th Asia Securities Forum, this time in the beautiful setting of our city, Istanbul. Welcome again. My name is Ege Adalıoğlu. Just ignore my last name, it's difficult to pronounce, so it's Ege. I'm the former Secretary General of Federation of Eurasian Stock Exchanges, and I'm honored to be acting as your Master of Ceremony today and tomorrow. The info booklets have been delivered to your rooms yesterday, as far as I believe, and you have been provided with the welcome sets in front of you. But still, if you have any questions regarding the social program or the timeline of the meetings, please do not hesitate to ask to me, to our colleagues in TCMA, or to our dear friends in the organization company. We will be always around to assist you with your questions. And also, I will be reminding you to the upcoming events of today from time to time, following the sessions. We hope you find the program we have lined up for you to be fruitful and engaging. Our agenda for today and tomorrow will keep us occupied with various valuable information, insights sharing, and discussions on procedures and policies. So please kindly sit down, relax, and enjoy your first day of the forum. I wish you all a fruitful day of meetings and a wonderful time during your stay in Istanbul. Okay, to kick off this morning's program, I am pleased to invite Dr. Alp Keller, Chairman of the TCMA, to deliver his opening remarks. Mr. Keller.
Distinguished partners, esteemed members, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Turkish Capital Markets Association, it's a true pleasure for me to welcome you to the 24th Asia Securities Forum, this time in Istanbul. It is also an honor for us to welcome representatives from the Asia Securities Forum, as well as from the International Council of Securities Association and the International Forum of Investor Education. I would like to extend my gratitude towards our keynote speaker for his participation and valuable insights, Mr. Necmettin Kaymaz, Chief Project Director from Invest in Turkey, and also another keynote speaker, Mr. Ünal Seven, economist from the Central Bank of Turkey. On this occasion, let me touch upon some of our association's new initiatives. We have recently initiated a communications project where we are conducting multifaceted communication activities with our stakeholders and the media. Our aim is to strengthen the perception of our industry and to develop the investment culture both on the investors and the company side. Our current priorities include taking the necessary initiatives for Istanbul to become a financial center, compatible with the world, by getting in touch with the relevant institutions of the sector, expanding our corporate investor base, and evaluating the resources in a more diligent manner. Some of our ongoing projects are: for the third World Investor Week celebrations, we hosted retail investors, real sector representatives, and university students in Borsa Istanbul through several activities. Moreover, we have organized the first hackathon for the capital markets in Turkey very recently, in October this year, in order to raise awareness towards the capital markets in the new digital world and also in the software industry. We wanted to attract software developers and youth, and the results were fascinating. In the future, we are planning to establish a capital markets incubation center to maintain sustainability of the event's outcome and bring the projects to life. We are organizing the 6th short film competition. Your feature in the hands of the camera. The competition aims to raise awareness about financial well-being. We value great importance to our annual Capital Markets Summit in view of developing the understanding of capital markets in Turkey. The 4th summit will take place in Istanbul on November 19th and 20th. Under the main theme of transformation, we will discuss the transformation of humans, the transformation of companies, the transformation of industries, and the transformation of economic architecture together with the participation of worldwide recognized experts. The summit in 2018 had attracted great attention with 8,000 participants attending and 30,000 participants streaming the event live on social media. This year, we expect even higher interest in our summit, and you are all cordially invited. Dear guests, we hope that this two-day Asia Securities Forum conference, which my team has eagerly planned the program, focusing on both the agenda items and enhancing our guests to get acquainted within our beautiful city of Istanbul, will meet your expectations. Please, let me take this opportunity to go quickly through the program. As you may recall, ASF adopted the Bali Declaration on Promotion of Sustainable Development Goals. During the 2018 Annual General Meeting of Asia Securities Forum in Bali, we will have a follow-up session today on the Bali Declaration and evaluate the ASF Sustainable Development Goals survey. 2 panels will also take place tomorrow, subjecting respectively digital revolution and its consequences on the capital markets and capital markets' role in reaching sustainable development goals. I highly believe that both panels will attract much interest. Last but not least, we will hear from Bombay Stock Exchange Brokers Forum, who will be hosting the next year's annual meeting in India. Suffice to say that we will have a full agenda. Nevertheless, I hope you will enjoy Istanbul through various social activities. I wish you a fruitful forum with interesting and stimulating discussions and exchange of knowledge so that we can together envisage the future of innovative and inclusive capital markets. And again, welcome to Istanbul. Please make yourselves at home. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Keller, for a very informative and energetic opening remark. Now I would like to introduce Mr. Necmettin Kaymaz, the Chief Project Director at Invest Turkey, as our keynote speaker to the stage.
Good morning, everybody. Please allow me at the outset to welcome you, all of you, to this beautiful city of Istanbul on behalf of the Presidential Investment Office of the Republic of Turkey. Now, having said that, I am unable to make a note. Dr. Keller made a beautiful, impressive speech. I am proud of that, but also I am concerned because he raised the bar for me, and now you have seen the good side of a Turkish speaker, and now you're going to see a bad side of a Turkish speaker. I'll be trying to be as good as he, but I'm sure I won't be able to do that. And thank you, Mr. Chairman, for inviting me. It's really a distinct pleasure for me to address such a distinguished audience from Asia. I hope you enjoy your stay in Istanbul. I represent the official investment promotion agency of the country, which is called Investment Office, attached to the Office of the President. Our main mission is to attract foreign direct investment to Turkey. I'll be giving you an overview of Turkey's investment climate, Turkey's value proposition for foreign direct investors. It is a promotion presentation, so that, don't get me wrong, we are not in a position to draw a rosy picture. In fact, we are well aware of the challenges and risks in our economy, and that is the reason, that's the very reason we are promoting Turkey as an attractive FDI destination, foreign direct investment destination, in order to have sustainable economic development. Now, as the question stands there, as you can see, why foreign investors are investing in Turkey, or why they should invest in Turkey. What are the reasons? What are the main factors, advantages that Turkey is offering foreign investors to invest in the country? There are many reasons to invest. Here are just a couple of them, 10 reasons to invest in Turkey, starting from its robust economy, it is geographic location, it is domestic market, it is labor skills, it is reform-minded policies, it is ecosystem, it is diversified economies, and many, many reasons that are relevant to foreign direct investors across the world with regard to investing in Turkey. Now, starting with the economy, as you can see, Turkey right now stands as the 13th largest economy in the world in terms of GDP at purchasing power parity. When we look at the economic growth over the past 16 years, you will see Turkey has been one of the fastest growing economies in its region, especially when we compare to the peer economies in our region in South and Eastern European region. And here you can see the Turkish economy has been growing with 5.6% every year. That's the annual average real GDP growth that Turkey has sustained over the past 16 years. Now, how about the current situation? As you may already know, Turkish economy has been going through some challenges in recent years due to geopolitical risks, as well as due to a gloomy outlook in the global economy. And the economy has contracted in the last 2 quarters of 2018, but it has quickly recovered in the first quarter of 2019, and that recovery now is continued into the second quarter of 2019. Now, of course, many economies face such challenges, but Turkey's experience shows us that even we may enter sometimes in recessions, but the Turkish economy's resilience, as well as its diversified structures, enables it to recover quickly. As we will see in a couple of slides, as you can see here, for example, here is just a short analysis of the past 58 years. Now, as you can see, Turkish economy has only once experienced negative growth in 2 consecutive years. And we compare with the peer economies in emerging economies such as Brazil, Argentina, South Africa, you will see Turkey's economic performance in terms of recovery is much, much better than peer economies. Now, 2 consecutive years negative growth, of course, it is protracted recession, which will, of course, kill investors' appetite. And here we see Turkish economy is recovering fast, as it has shown in the past, and is now enduring in the current situation, and it's recovering and rebalancing, as we can see. Now, the only 2 consecutive negative growth was in 1979 and 1980. My colleagues from Turkey would recall what caused that. Probably there was a military coup in 1980, and there's also another reason for that, why economy contracted in 1979, and the reason is that in 1979 I was born. As you can see, I'm such a burden on Turkish economy, and I caused the recession, 2 consecutive negative growth in 1979. But that's, of course, aside. Here we see an economy which is recovering fast and proving resilient and enduring in times of crisis. And here you can see there are ups and downs in the economy, but the long-term trend in the Turkish economy is being sustained. And economy, when it's overheating, sometimes then it is slowing down, rebalancing, and converging to Turkey's long-term economic growth over the past 20 years, as you can see. And right now, we are witnessing the same trend in the Turkish economy. The economy is also this success of Turkish economy is also based on prudent macroeconomic policies. As you can see, Turkey has significantly reduced its public finance, its public deficit over the past 16 years, and has been managing its public finance, its budget balance quite successfully. And inflation is another area which has been successfully managed by policymakers as well as by relevant authorities. Now, of course, I just want to show you how Turkey has reduced volatility and also provided predictability. Now, of course, right now, as of September 2019, we have single-digit inflation, which is around 9.3%. There was a recent jump in inflation. My colleagues from the central bank will talk about this afternoon. But I just want to draw your attention. In the past years, Turkey was suffering from high inflation. Not only high inflation, but also it was very, very volatile in 70s, in 80s, in 90s. It was very volatile. So in a volatile environment, it is very difficult for investors to make plans in the future. So high inflation, it's a risk. Now, if you know the risk, you can price it. You can take your position. So it's a calculable risk. But if you don't know the future, if you cannot predict, that creates uncertainty. Now, uncertainty versus risks are a threat to investors' appetite. Now, Turkey has significantly removed uncertainty and provided predictability and also managed single-digit inflation on average on the past 16 years, despite some ups in recent years. But now we are seeing slowdown in the inflation, and Turkey is now providing, again, predictability and relatively certainty to the markets. An economy has more than tripled over the past 16 years. As you can see, it is mainly driven by a robust domestic market, but also by lucrative export markets around Turkey, as well as by an entrepreneurial spirit of the private sector. And as a result, domestic market has emerged as an attractive market for foreign investors. As you can see, GDP per capita in terms of purchasing power parity has more than tripled over the past 16 years. And a domestic market is not only confined to Istanbul, which is the financial as well as economic center of capital of Turkey, but it is also evenly spread across Turkey. As you can see, we are seeing emerging urban centers across Turkey. There are more than 20 urban centers with population over 1 million across Turkey. That makes even the domestic market more attractive and more diversified. And it's not only the domestic market that are attractive to foreign investors, foreign direct investment. It's also Turkey's low geostrategic location, which is also attractive to foreign direct investment. From Turkey, investors are able to access European Union markets without any custom restrictions, because we have custom union with the EU, which is a market of more than 500 million people and around 18 trillion dollar combined economy, which makes Turkey an attractive, which means make Turkey an ideal place to access these markets across Turkey, as well as we have proximity to emerging markets around Turkey, in Middle East, North Africa, as well as in Central Asia. All makes Turkey an attractive, an ideal place to access these markets. We have custom union with the EU, which means whatever you produce, manufacture in Turkey, can be freely exported without any restrictions to the EU market. So free access to these markets make Turkey one of the most attractive countries in the region. And furthermore, as I said, strategic locations location of Turkey makes even more attractive. It is well connected with the region. It is ideally located in terms of time. You can follow the markets from Tokyo to New York in 16 different time zones. And that's why, as you can see, global multinational companies are using Turkey as a manufacturing and export hub. It's not only for manufacturing and export, it's also for management. That's why Istanbul is an ideal place to be a regional, international financial center than to a global financial center. Many companies, multinational companies from China to Germany, from the United States to United Kingdom, are using Turkey as a hub to manage their operations in the region. And as a result of these advantages, Turkey's export has significantly increased over the past 16 years. As you can see, it has also diversified. As a result, Turkey's share in the global trade has increased from 0.6 to around 1% as of last year. And Turkey's young population is also an attractive advantage for foreign direct investments to invest in Turkey. Half of population is under age 31, which makes Turkey one of the countries with the youngest population in the region. It has the largest youth population in Europe. And furthermore, this ecosystem is supported by Turkey's attractive labor force. We have significantly invested in education to meet investors' requirements in terms of skills and qualifications. Education has been upgraded to meet the demand and requirements of business. And it's also qualified enough to meet the demands of foreign investment in terms of manufacturing, in terms of engineering skills, in terms of managerial skills, and in terms of cost per hour, it's also one of the most attractive countries in the region. And reform has been one of the most important policy tools in Turkey to improve investment climate in Turkey. I don't want to go in details what we have achieved, what we have implemented over the past 16 years, but just want to draw your attention to points here. One, reforms in Turkey are of a continuous process. They're not just one-time policies. You implement a package of reforms and then you lean back and just watch. No, that's not the case. Yeah, we introduce reforms, we implement reforms, we watch, we keep watching the developments, and then we accordingly introduce new reforms. As we can see, it has started in early 2000s and continues to date. Now, the second point I want to draw your attention is that these reforms are not only on papers. They have tangible results on the ground, making it easy for investors to do business in Turkey. As you can see, just give you one example, and then I will follow up with another example. Back in 2003, establishing a company, just a limited liability companies in Turkey, was taking 38 days. Now it takes less than a week to establish a company. That is thanks to the reform process the government has implemented over the past 16 years. And this is a recent benchmark by World Bank, which benchmarked 190 countries in the world in terms of ease of doing business, how easy it is to do business in a country. In 2017, Turkey was ranked 69th out of 190 countries. Turkey has gradually improved its investment climate, and as of today, it ranks 33rd in terms of doing business index among 190 countries. That is also another result of these reforms that we have implemented over the past 16 years. And investments in Turkey are also protected by legal instruments, by legal framework, which both domestic as well as international mechanisms. We have an exclusive foreign direct investment law which protects the interests of foreign investors, foreign direct investors in Turkey, which brings equal treatment. Once you establish a company in Turkey, your company is deemed a Turkish company and can equally benefit from all opportunities and also all incentives offered by the government. It brings also guarantee of transfers. Once you invest in Turkey, you make profit, you can freely repatriate your profit to wherever you want. There is no any restrictions in that regard. Furthermore, investments in Turkey are protected by bilateral investment protection and promotion treaties with some 70 countries. Furthermore, this legislative ecosystem is supported by treaties to prevent double taxation. And moreover, the government also proactively supports foreign investors as well as domestic investors through certain incentives, mainly for manufacturing, but also for offering exclusive incentives for research and developments. As we want to move up in the global value chain, Turkey is significantly investing in research and development. As you can see, there are many global companies conducting considerable research and development as well as innovation activities in Turkey. From the United States to Asia, from Europe to many other countries, companies from those countries are investing in Turkey, in the Turkish research and development ecosystem. And diversified economies brings diversified opportunities, also make the economy more resilient. We are not a natural resource country. We don't have any natural gas or oil or any other economic commodities. We have some. We are actually utilizing them, but we are not, unfortunately, or fortunately, I would say, a natural resource economy. We don't want to have that curse in our economy, and that's why we had to diversify our economies. And here you can see it is well diversified. It is a considerable, substantial automotive manufacturer in the world as well as in its region. It is 15th largest auto manufacturer in the world. And then you see economies well diversified in other sectors, from machinery, electric machinery, to aerospace and defense, from energy to food and beverage, from infrastructure to chemicals, and as well, of course, in terms of financial services, Turkey is also well diversified, and it's improving its financial markets further to make Istanbul an international financial center. And the result here you can see, as I said at the outset, it's just, I mean, my presentation is for promotion. That's why I'm getting paid by the government. So I'm not here to talk about the risk or challenges. That doesn't mean we deny them. We are well aware of them. And that's the main reason, actually, the very reason we want to attract investment for our sustainable economic development. So I talk too much, you know, just promotion. Turkey is that beautiful, it's that great, you know, we have this and this. But at the end of the day, you know, it is the investors' decision that makes sense, you know. If investors do not believe what I say or what Turkey is offering, there's no point for me to make a sleek and, you know, a presentation to impress you. Okay, out of courtesy, you will listen to me. Most probably you will applaud me. I'm not sure of that, but that's not the point, you know. The point, the purpose is whether or not investors are buying this. Now here, that speaks for itself when you look at the numbers. Over the past 16 years, Turkey attracted more than $200 billion foreign direct investment. Now, it may not be satisfactory. It is maybe an amount that China attracted in just 2 years. But when we compare with ourselves, in the preceding 8 decades to 2003, in which Turkey attracted only 15 billion foreign direct investment. Now, up to 2003, in total, Turkey attracted only $15 billion. But since 2003, Turkey attracted more than $200 billion foreign direct investment. Now, that is something, that is the result of those reforms, policies, as well as the advantages, the attractive advantages Turkey is offering to foreign investors. Are we satisfied with that? No, we want to attract more for our sustainable economic development. And Turkey is attracting investment from all around the world, from Asia, from the United States, from Europe, from Gulf, and from many other sources. And we are determined to further diversify our source countries, focusing on emerging markets, new emerging source of foreign direct investments, to increase the pie and increase the volume, but as well, it's not an alternative to our traditional sources, which is Europe and United States. It is in addition to them, both to diversify as well as to increase the volume. And Turkey is attracting investment to many, many sectors. As we talk about, diversified economy brings diversified structure opportunities, and that also is valid for foreign investors. We have seen investment increasing in services, in financial services, in manufacturing, in energy, in many, many other sectors that Turkey is offering opportunities to foreign direct investment. With that, I would end my presentation here, and I thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Mr. Kaymas, for this very informative presentation. Why am I standing here now? Because I would like to ask all of you to come towards the stage for our photo session. And after the photo session, there comes our coffee break. And after the coffee break, we're going to have our market report. So please be back by 11 after your coffee break. But first, please come to the stage for the group photo.